Oh my goodness. Welcome in. Seeing Scarlet, whatever this is. We're giggling so
Who are
much
we?
because sometimes when we are getting ready to go live and we're getting ready to talk to y'all, we end up just laughing and losing track of time. So welcome in to Seeing Scarlet. I'm Sibby and that's Shelby, and we have a
Yes.
lot to catch up on. And also kind of getting into a slower time of the year. Like it kind of feels weird, Shelby, we were going 100 miles an hour for all of these different sports, and now we're shifting sports. We're in that time of the year, and I feel like I'm catching my breath, but basketball is telling us a different
Basketballing?
story. They're basketballing, they're hooping, they're doing what they do, and so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We got basketball. We refuse to let go of the Texas Tech soccer season, so you're welcome.
Listen,
And
soccer is not even over yet. The Final Four is like this weekend or next week, so
that's true.
we're well within the
We
range.
got a lot, yeah, of soccer going on. Just
You want to tell them the
unfortunately,
exciting
not
soccer
with us.
news that came out today that everyone needs to know about?
Oh, well, Shelby, go ahead.
Go
I've
ahead,
Yeah,
y'all.
let's hear it.
How many times have y'all heard us talk about Madison White and Hannah Anderson on this podcast? We've
The
tried
limit
to
does
tell
not
you.
exist.
We've tried to tell you that we have two of the best players in the country on the team at one time. We tried to tell you that this is their last season at Texas Tech, and you better take advantage of it because they're pros. And all of this was
Already.
true. And now that's been confirmed even by those people handing out those important awards. The Mac Herman Award, which is the National Player of the Year for you footballers out there, think Heisman, but for soccer. Yeah. They were named semifinalists for this, 1 or 2 of 15. I think they were the only, Texas Tech was only, there was 2 other schools, maybe like BYU
and Florida State, Shelby,
Florida State.
the number one team in the country. Like
that tells you how good this team
I know
was. And obviously we talked about it. We lost a player, and then that's otherwise I think we're playing in North Carolina right now in the Final Four, but that's life.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And these two are well deserving of it, and they will announce the finalists next Wednesday. So keep your eye on that. I don't know if it's still the same, but I remember the last time, I believe it was Janine and Becky. Kirsten Davis, maybe she might have been up for one, but I know back in the Becky years, I remember fans could vote on it in some fashion. I don't know if it's the final thing, but we'll keep an eye on that. So anyway, shout out them. They well deserved. Love y'all. Keep doing what you do.
I know. And if it comes down to a fan vote, that is what we do best, Red Raiders. Y'all know. You know the drill. But we'll keep you in the loop. Make sure, you're following along. So if you're viewing us from Twitter or YouTube or Facebook, we're trying Facebook out, seeing how that goes. So welcome in. We have those 2 sports to talk about, and then we're going to talk about volleyball, closing out their season, and football wrapped up their regular season play. So lots to catch up on. Shelby is a ghost and trying to come back to life, but
sorry, my computer is really fighting with life today. So we're gonna just fight through it. There we go. We're back.
We're gonna fight back.
It's gonna do that thing. So I'm just gonna leave and I'll come back. So you let R.I.P. Shelby, because it did this last time. We're not gonna do this for a whole episode. It'll come back. Right.
All right. Right. So that's what happens, and we roll with it. Rip Shelby, Erica, nice to see you in the chat. Talking about hooping too. You've been to the games. Can't wait to hear what you have to say. Shelby was rolling in.
I'm back.
2 frames per second is putting it nicely, Erica. That's very funny.
Hey, there's somebody watching on Facebook. Christy from Facebook, give us a like. We appreciate it. We're having some technical difficulties this week, but I promise it's usually not like this.
I'm doing just fine.
But we're back. So
I'm living. We went through what we're going to talk about today. Tonight, what year is it? And we're going to start with women's basketball. We're talking about hoops, just like Erica said in the chat. Women's basketball had a trip to Las Vegas over the Thanksgiving break and came out undefeated, going 2-0. And I love that this is happening for Shelby, because this is ball is life. I
don't know if we need to just start it over or what, because this is it. I don't know why it's skipping like this. So
your frames, she's not even gonna ask me for advice anymore. I'm the IT person. But yeah, we'll talk about women's basketball. They had it's their first road trip of the year, so really exciting to see how they're going to perform on the road. Like I said earlier, they're undefeated. We were undefeated at home, and that continues on. So we had our first opponent here with Rutgers, and a lot to with Santa Clara and
working. Guys, sorry, continue.
You know what? I feel like when there's like a news anchor and something goes wrong and they are trying to ad lib, I just felt that. Like I'm sweating buckets right now. And
Sibby's trying to basketball. This was me trying to
be
soccer
like,
all season. So welcome to my life.
but I'm like, I got to show up for Shelby. I got to drop these stats and say these terms. And I got to do her justice. So I just hope you know, Shelby, I was ready to go in all the way as your teammate.
I appreciate it.
Talking about women's hoops, but glad to have you back. And we were just getting into Rutgers and you were able to watch the games. That was a really important piece too, because Shelby does a great job of updating Twitter. And if y'all aren't following Seeing Scarlet on Twitter, go do it. X, whatever. Because when we are in moments where we don't want to pay $7 million for a streaming service,
how it feels.
You were able to tell us more about it. So let's start with Rutgers. Hit it.
Yeah. So I don't know what you said while I was gone, but obviously we went 2-0.
We talked trash about you.
Yeah, so I thought. I see Erica saying just put a picture of Maddie. That would just crack me up. We should have just done that. But yeah, so I thought Rutgers was a good. I say this lightly because I don't know how good of a team Rutgers is going to be by the end of the season. It's been an up-and-year season for them, but body-wise, they are a Big Ten team, and they were bigger than us, and you saw that early in the game for sure. And they played physical, like you're going to see in the Big Ten and in the Big 12. So I thought from that standpoint, it was a good test for us to go through that in a tournament format in Vegas. First time on the road to be able to go through that was big. So they came out, and quite frankly, they dominated us in the paint. I don't really have a nice way to say that. They just did. They scored 50 in the paint. We scored 22. And I don't really know that that's something we should even concern ourselves with too much, because I do think it's just going to be something that happens this year.
Right.
I hope it's not that drastic always, but we are going to get beat in the paint this year, just personnel-wise, against a lot of teams, especially in the Big 12 when you get to bigs. And that's fine. Doesn't mean you're going to lose the game. We clearly won this game despite it.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean when I say that. And even some of these other teams have been bigger than us, but this one was definitely had that Power 5 size, and we were able to overcome it with other ways. So
yeah,
I do hope we get better at rotations, because I think we can overcome it a little bit better if we get better, like the backside help, taking some charges, which we've done at times on the bigs and things of that, like team defense, which is getting better in the half court. We talk a lot about the press with this team, but their half court defense is starting to get better and better every game. And I think that's how we'll overcome that. You saw that in the second half. We got a lot better at it.
Yeah. So I love that you talked about it in a way of like, we are already seeing this identity of this team of like what works and how they can adapt. Like you're talking about, we got dominated in the paint, but you're like, I like that you weren't like, I don't know how much we should focus on that, because I think Coach Gerlich does a great job of adapting of, okay, we have these, pretty significant injuries on the team starting the season. We're facing a Big Ten team.
For sure.
Able to all the players being able to adapt to that, I think is showing here. And I want that as a core identity of this team, is being able to adapt, and they're doing it already. And what a great sign.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. I think I said that to someone on Twitter earlier today who pointed out the injuries and all that. And it's always been one of my favorite traits of Coach Gerlich and her staff. When we say Coach Gerlich, obviously that includes her staff, but she's the leader of the ship and she guides it. So she's always been a coach that it's easy to be a fan of. Obviously, we're going to be a fan of anyone that's out there for Texas Tech, but she makes it easy as a fan because she is willing to adapt. I think this more defensive minded thing is kind of what she wanted to do. She did it at past stops. We talked about that. But in past years, she's played to her strengths. You have a Vivian Gray and you have a Bree Scott, more isolation ball and all that stuff. Your team isn't quite long enough, fast enough to do full court press. She didn't do it. This year, she has a little bit of that and can do it. You're going to see other adjustments she makes because the fact that we don't have a true big. Big Jazz is going to get in there and help us at times, but she can't go out there and play huge minutes, right? That's just not her style. But she's going to get in there and bruise, and we saw that get a bit against Rutgers. She even got a technical against Rutgers.
Oh,
Girl like might not like me saying it, but I like
a professional foul.
A little bit of
a professional foul.
A little. I'm not going to take this shit. And so showed our toughness a little bit. I really have no idea what happened on the technical. They just said it was technical. It was Flo Hoops broadcast, so we couldn't see it. But I'm giving her credit, being like, she was like just not going to take it, and it was a toughness moment. So I'm going with that. So
I'm with you.
I'll take that where we can get it. And you're welcome, whoever that is. RG2. It's a struggle today. My mic is falling. I'm holding it up by hand. My computer's breaking, but we're here. We're doing it as always every Tuesday. We're here for you guys. But yeah, so I like the toughness that we showed in that game, despite being quote unquote undersized. We had other things going for us. One thing going into the game that we talked a little bit about on here and definitely on Twitter leading up to it, that we thought we would have the advantage in, and certainly it played out that way, is Rutgers only plays 8 players. Has been all year pretty much. Only played 8 players against us. Yeah. We played 10 to 11. We played 10 like for 10 minutes, basically a game, averaging every once in a while an 11th one gets in there for a run here or there. We use our bench. They do not. And you saw that wear down. They had a 9-point lead at times in this game. They had a lead going in the fourth quarter in this game. And we outscored them big in the fourth quarter by 9 or something in the fourth quarter to win the game. You'll see something similar against Santa Clara, but against Rutgers, I point this out because I've been noticing in the Big 12 around the conference that there's quite a few teams in the Big 12. I don't know if this is injury related. Maybe it won't be this way once they get to conference, that are also just playing with really short benches right now with only 8. And so if that is the coach doesn't trust anybody else, and that's just how it's going to be when they get to conference, I like this for us because we've shown against Rutgers, we showed it against Santa Clara, we showed it against UTSA, all these other teams that we outlasted, and that's not a bad thing. This is good. That's a way to win basketball games. We're making them work, and we're really wearing them down. Even this early in the year, think about how much more worn down teams are going to be playing 8 players in a rotation by February, by March. So I don't know if these teams, but I've noticed Oklahoma State, TCU, and Iowa State, even Kansas, but Kansas is wildly talented. So I don't know if we'll see if we can overcome the height disparity there or whatever. But I say Oklahoma State, TCU, and Iowa State because I think those 3 teams are the 3 teams along with us be fighting in the middle of the standings and trying to make the conference, or not the conference, but the NCAA tournament. Yeah, is like one of those 1 or 2 teams last from our conference to make it in. I hope not. I hope we're at the top, but if we're just being realistic, that's probably where people are seeing us, right? So if they're going to only play 8 people, give me that all day because we're proving that it works. And so that's something to look forward to. Again, they could be short bench. They could have injuries. I don't know. But it's just something when I tune into these games, they're only ever playing 5, like their starters are playing 38 plus minutes a game. And I'm like, I just don't think that's sustainable, especially the way we play. So,
and for those,
something to look forward to if that is how we're going to do
it. I'm with you on that. And I remember, I think it was last week or a couple of weeks ago, I was saying how I kept looking at the stat board and all of our players have very similar stats, and it makes sense because they're getting like some equal playing time. And now we're starting to see some of the outliers, right? And like rebounding and shooting and things like that. But to have the contribution from every player that can play, like we're seeing it all right now. And that makes me feel good as we go into Big 12 play and beyond. Like I'm here for that. I want to know that our bench is going to show up just as much as our starters, and that, acute theme with soccer is like we saw how beneficial that was for soccer, like we'll talk about soccer here in a minute, but I just think that's a really cool philosophy on your team of, we can speculate, but I will always be in that camp of, everybody contributes, everybody has a strength, and let's see it all unfold. And I know you got some players here to mention, and I can't wait to hear what you had to say of these game changers, dude. Like, what?
Yeah, I just realized all of my clips aren't in here, so I'll have to add them again. But we'll do that in a minute. But it's fine. I'm trying to, so first one, Saga. we'll show her clips in a minute if you haven't seen them. Shout out Saga Ukunen. She had game of her career, probably definitely game of the year for her.
Yeah.
We know that she was going to step up this year, and she's just such a team player. Everyone talks about her. I think Zuri Sanders described her as, if you look up Lady Raider basketball in a dictionary, Saga's face would come up next to it, and that's just how much of the culture that she buys into, and she is, and she's just such a good teammate. And so to see her get into the game and make an immediate impact, and no exaggeration, I don't know if we win that game if she does not come into the game, because we were down 9 points when she entered the game in the second quarter, and it was getting a little dire. I was watching the game. I know a lot of people followed the box score, but we just couldn't make shots. They had switched to a zone and were basically like, prove that you can shoot.
Yeah.
And our shooters that night at that point weren't hitting them. We definitely heated up as the game went on, and you'll see that by the scores that Jazzy and Moppin put up. But at that point in the game, we were missing a lot of shots. And so she puts Saga in there, who's the perfect zone buster. You can play zone against Saga Ukunen.
Good luck.
Well. And so she comes in the game, makes a corner three, goes down. We get a stop. She comes right back down the court the next possession, hits another three, a 6-point run, all by her little self. In about 30 seconds, they have to call a timeout. Now we go from being down 9 to down 3 instantaneously when she came in the game. And the game kind of shifted from there. And then it was kind of just back and forth battle from there until we ultimately took the lead late in the game. She also later, like in the third quarter, comes in and got an and one in the second half, which I thought was even more impressive, because you think of her as a shooter. She's like, no, I'm an athlete. She goes in there and drives, takes the bump, gets the layup. She missed her free throw, which I know she's mad about, but she did get the layup. So shout out Saga. She's gonna do that from time to time this year. We're always ready when her name's called, and this team's really deep, and there's a lot of people battling for those same spots, and she plays the same position as our 2 leading scorers, so that's always going to be tough to get out there. But when she gets into the game, she's made that impact, and we'll see the same thing in the Santa Clara game. Her and Logan are kind of in that similar role. Logan takes that chance in that next game, so it was really cool. Shout out Saga. I loved it.
Yeah, and Saga was a great interview that we got to talk to before the season. So if y'all haven't, please go check that out. What we saw with all of these players is how much of a profound outlook that they have on this team and this season. And I love that we're seeing some of the fruits of that mental labor that they made before the season even started. And very similar to soccer, like we're seeing some of their goals happen, and like what Saga was talking about working on in the summer for her to be prepared for moments like this, for when her name is called, and then she shows up in that way. I don't think it's a far stretch for that comment that you made about, like, I don't know if we win that without Saga. Like,
I mean, it's hard. Yeah. You don't know for sure. Like, someone else. I'm a mind reader. Maybe we start making some stops. Who knows? But in that moment, she changed. What I know for sure is she changed the game.
Game changer. Less
quickly. Yeah, they need to steal that from soccer. Tom Stone, thank you.
Stone. You
want to come on the show? Steal it. Call him game changers. Still waiting. Where you at? But yeah, she was a game changer in every form, every sense of the word. It was great. I can't wait to see her do it again. As her confidence gets up, she's gonna be better, because she has the skill. She has the talent.
Yeah,
just shoot it. Shooters shoot all the time. I mean, 8 points in 6 minutes. Shooters shoot. That's a crazy stat line. Love it from her. Love it. And then just the other players of the game. Jasmine Shavers continues to shine. She tied her career high once again. I think it's the second time this year. She's hit 28 points, which she had last year once. So she was just doing it all out there, getting buckets, kind of all game. She was really the leading scorer through 3 quarters. Really was getting it. I think Moppin kind of went off a little bit in the fourth quarter, which is something she's continued to do all year. Is like it's winning time, and then she starts scoring, and she ended up with 24 herself, as well as like 5 assists, which was her career high until the next game, and 4 rebounds or something. So Jazzy keeps scoring. She's getting rebounds. She's our second leading rebounder on the season. Who saw that coming? On a team with Kyla Freelon and Jordan Merritt, that Jasmine Shavers was going to be the second leading rebounder on the team. That might change as the season goes on, but right now, you love to see it.
Yeah, we're going to take that. And Jazzy, what I mean, if y'all have been around for long enough and heard us talk about her when we first started this thing, we talked about how consistent she is and how strong she is, and she's showing up and having a stellar season so far, to where she's breaking her career highs constantly. Like, how casual, Jazzy. Like,
yeah,
and again,
she is really casual about it. She doesn't seem like she cares, which is good.
And it makes sense for her and like her character. We got to interview her also, and it was just, again, this all makes sense. Thanks.
It all makes sense. It does. Okay, so let's play this first clip. It's the whole highlight package, so we're skip through it to just a few moments that I bookmark, and we have a few other clips after it. But
Maupin
starting the game with a three butter. Her 3-point percentage has gone up greatly in the last year. Here's a few Jazzy clips right back to back. Mid-range game, working it, loving it. Here's another just signature Jazz. And then Kylie gets the rebound. Should have been a foul, but Kylie cleans it up for her. There's a couple of those. We'll skip ahead.
It looks so much better. Like, I listened to it old school, y'all, like, which was
I forgot.
Fantastic.
You probably watched these highlights already, but
I mean, getting to see them. Yeah, I like to wait for our breakdown.
You like to wait,
to be honest. Okay. So yeah,
we can play the whole thing for you if you want to. But this is a singular possession of basketball that was art, and I just loved it. Watch the ball moving on in this possession. Watch Jada win, who had a great couple games in Vegas, just as under the radar, doing the dirty work. Passing is what she does great on this possession. You can see I think they're in like a little bit of a matchup zone here. This was in that second quarter. This is right before Saga comes in the game and does what she does, which we'll see next. But this is right before they start to pull away. But on this possession, we did the dang thing. Oh, passing. Just watch. We're going to get someone in the middle. So key in the zone to get someone right there, and Jada does it.
Outside Maupin. Good inside-outside game.
Like, that's what you see the potential of this offense. And if people are going to run zone against us, it's so nice to have a player with the IQ of Jada Wynn that knows, like, okay, I need to get in this open space right in the middle of the paint here, because that's going to make everybody collapse, and then Bailey's going to be wide open for a three. So I just love it, because we've seen that in a few games in a row now, both against zone and man, where we're passing the ball around. They're sharing the ball so well right now on this team. There's not a lot of ISO ball happening. Very rarely do you see ISO ball happening, and usually it doesn't turn out well. There's a couple times where Bailey or Jazzy will do what they do, but for the most part, we have players that are ready to spot up and shoot, and so being able to pass is good.
Wow. Yeah. I could watch that clip all day. Like, the foundational aspects of this team is what is so exciting. And we have seen that game after game is, again, like, the basics. We're really growing our confidence in that. And that's where we get beautiful artwork like that. You are totally right. The passing, the shot, everything perfect. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 would agree. I agree. All right. Now we get to watch Saga do what Saga does. We'll skip ahead. She comes into the game. Right here. She's about this next possession. Here she is down in the corner.
Oh.
Saga loves nothing more than a corner three. Easy buckets. Oh, right back down. And then you love this. Watch. She gives it to Riley. Riley's like, not you. Take it. Buckets.
Dude.
And that's the unselfishness. And Riley actually had 6 assists and 0 turnovers in this game. She didn't score in this game. And she
6 assists.
Is a deadly 3-point shooter, mind you. But other teams know that. So this girl jumped on her hard, and that was going to be a tough shot for Riley. She just says, no, Saga's wide open. You take it.
And they are like, I mean, this whole team is, they're friends, and those two have such a unique friendship. Like, if you see them vibing with each other, like, they're so silly, and y'all can have, like, what is it? Work hard, play hard. Yeah. That is what I'm seeing here, is that, I don't know, the vibes are so right with that connection. Big fan.
The vibes, yeah, the vibes on this team in general are great. So I hear you, but yeah, they're good friends too. So that probably helps with that for sure. We'll skip ahead. So you might just want to watch all these. I didn't realize you hadn't seen them. I was trying to keep it succinct for you guys, but we'll skip ahead to this one. And this is just kind of the start of the fourth quarter. And there's a lot of plays here that are worth watching. So this is where we just buckle down. We were actually down 2, I believe, going into this quarter, and this is going to be a theme we've seen in multiple games where we just win the fourth quarter, which you love. And there's just a lot of good plays in here.
Now tries to feed Cornwell, turns it over. Chevalier the other way. They got a 3-on-1.
Chev, defense to
Left
offense,
wing.
buckets.
Jumper is good for Shavers.
Jazzy. Ashley was great in this game again.
Yeah.
Just good passing, good ball movement. Jazzy makes another 3.
Shavers 3.
I just love the ball movement going on here.
5 on the shot clock. It's Maupin on the drive.
Bailey, look at this pass. Who says Bailey can't be a primary ball handler? Who says? Let me hear it.
Not me.
How about Bailey saying
from the outside and buries the triple?
These, and I think that's their final highlight. I have a couple more because they didn't include the end of the anyway. But yeah, so I thought you can watch these again if you want to. I'll put this off, but just really clutch moments from a lot of people at the end of this game. You saw that from Ashley. That was her first defensive play in the fourth. She had 3 huge defensive plays. The next 2 I'll have to pull in separate clips for. And then just the passing is brilliant, like it has been. Jazzy is just, when she gets it with time and space, and she's locked in right now.
Yeah.
Bailey doing what Bailey's doing. That underhand pass has become a little bit of a signature for her lately. I love it for her. She is cold-blooded, right? She knows how many. Is this like the 4th game in a row where she's made a huge 3 in the? Well, if you count the Santa Clara game, she has one too. So like in Santa Clara, Rutgers, UTSA for sure, all huge 3s in the fourth quarter because she just says, "Okay, winning time. Yeah. Let me get us some points here."
Yeah, truly, she's shown up in such a big way, and kind of what you talked about last season is. The Bailey Maupin era, but we can say that about so many players on this team already, and Bailey is not immune to that. Like she's
to go
at the under. I like that you're noticing the underhand pass that she's doing because I haven't known to look for that, but I was like, ooh, she looks like she's practiced that before. But
yeah, she looks like a point guard to me. That's a position I played for. I mean, obviously not at the same level as she's doing it right now, but
you're like, I know that
I've played a lot of basketball in my youth for very many years, and that's why I've said since we've been watching Bailey Maupin that she has the ability to be a point guard in her because she sees the floor well and she can make those pocket passes really well. She has to get better at ball handling and her turnovers, which she's going to have a chance to take on that challenge, as we'll talk about in the Riverside game coming up tomorrow. But she's doing big stuff. So 2 plays for you here. Let me pull in this other file. Sorry, we had cluster.
Here's full court pressure. Bates.
Who is it? Who else?
Up here. Here's full court.
Watch this play. This is just since you didn't get to watch it, a lot of people listening didn't get to watch it, or didn't get to watch the actual game. What doesn't show up in the box score, Ashley Chevalier, she was just a pest all game, as she always is. And you can see it take its toll on this play because this girl is just so tired of her. She just shoves her and gets an offensive foul in a huge moment in the game where we're up 4 and this gives us a chance to go up a little bit more. Just watch this. The girl's just like over her and she's like, get out of here. And she does a good job selling it and gets the try. Like it was just such a quintessential Ashley moment. I was like, they're so sick of Ashley. They're just getting fouls because of it now. And that's what she does to people. By the fourth quarter, they're so sick of Ashley. They're so sick of her that that's not going to be the last time that happens this year. It's just not. She'll take it. She's a fighter. She don't care. Bring it. Throw those elbows and get a technical. Give me 2 free throws.
She is she's smart. Like she knows what she's doing. Like she knows that her strength is in this defense. And if it's not like totally locking them up like that, it's forcing a pass. It's getting that steal. Like why I love watching Ashley play is her defense. I mean, when she makes shots and has those passes, I love it, but nothing makes me more hype because it's like,
it's what she's brilliant.
She's her. Like that is her defense is so hype. And this is a great clip of that, of showing her being a menace.
That's Ashley being a menace, and then this is Ashley playing
criminal.
Absolutely lockdown defense on basically the final possession of the game. How many people did we ask that in those interviews? Hey, would you rather make the game-winning shot or would you rather lock them up? This is her locking them up they have 14 seconds left. She just takes the ball. Doesn't even give them a chance to lock. She didn't have to lock them up. She's like, I'm not even let you get the ball inbounds.
Yep.
Keep it. Seconds to go. Texas Tech leads
by 5.
Rutgers
just staying with her on the cut.
Trying to keep pressure on, but they
She gets
turn it
fouled.
over. Chevalier the steal, and then
they
she's
have
fouled in
to.
the open.
Yeah,
Seconds
she
to
had
go.
to foul her, and
She
she
had
nails.
two, yeah.
She nails both free throws. Just the athleticism, the just like look at her juke. I'm there. That girl passing
Dude.
it was so sure that girl's juke was gonna work. She's already running the other way. She doesn't even
I'm
realize the ball's been stolen. She's like,
Shelby,
how the hell did she do that?
even better, but Bailey and Arika and Elena are like both also waiting for them to have possession. Like you can see them in this clip. Like,
Oh yeah,
they're already
ready.
I know, but that's like
yeah.
that shows how quick Ashley stole this ball and got it. Like, okay, like let's go. And they're, we have our athleticism from Jazzy and Kylo that are already ready to that. Like, they fouled because that was a goal scoring opportunity, and that's what was going to happen. So I mean, the foul had to happen either way. We were going to score, and that was because of Ashley in a pretty important stretch of the game. So
absolutely,
thanks, Ashley. Keep going, girl.
Keep being you. And she plays great defense again in the next game, and she also has some nice offensive moments in the next game that we'll get into. But so yeah, we win that game. Awesome. The fun in these non-con tournaments is it doesn't end. You got to play the next day, and in their case, it was less than 24 hours later that they have to play this game. Because by the time this game the next day ends, the other one hadn't even started the day before. Like that's how much earlier. It was like 4 or 5 hours earlier the next day, and they got to go out there and play. And we play when you play a physical, tough, work hard brand like we do, it's really tough to do that. But they responded. Santa Clara, we talked about going into the game. They're a solid team. They can shoot lights out. They had 6 players, I think, shooting in 30% range. They shot 35% as a team from 3. Everybody can shoot it. They're long. They don't have the quote unquote height over us necessarily. I think their tallest player is 6'3", similar to us, but their guards were all big. They kind of what Gerlich is trying to get to in the future, right? They had a 6-foot guard, a 5'10" guard as their 3 starters. They're all international. Their top 2 scorers were from Australia. Don't know what that's about. Like their entire team was from Australia. So is what it is. But there must have a connection there with the coach. But I
was gonna Finland, but like I got it. But
we're moving past. But they have legitimately 5 players, I think, from Australia. 5 from Australia and 2 from Greece on that team.
That's so interesting.
The majority of their players that play minutes are not
from the US.
Which go get them where you can find them. They're great players. So we obviously did that with Saga and Elena. So fair to them. But
we're we're here for it.
So they start this game kind of like what you feared that they would start the game. Is they're a different style than what you just played in Rutgers, who's that more physical, bruising type style. This team is more, I mean, they can be physical too. They like to play defense too, but they're very well-oiled machine type. They pass the ball around, they move the ball, they shoot really well. They're, like I said, their guards are tall, they can shoot over you. They all shoot a good percentage. And they started out the game doing that. And they made their second leading scorer had 2 threes in about 2 minutes of this game. And you're like, oh, well, here we go. But then we settled in a little bit after that and kind of made a game of it. They did get up 9 at some point in this game. In the second quarter, again, it was kind of like a copy paste repeat of the last game. We're down 9 again in the second quarter and have to battle our way back. We gave up quite a few points in that game in the first half, just like we did in Rutgers. And I'm assuming they had some fun words at halftime again, which the coach spoke on after, that they kind of put your big girl panties on, I think is what she told them in the Rutgers game at half. I'm sure something similar. To give them a little bit of grace in the Santa Clara game, they're exhausted at this point because they just played. So you could tell they just looked tired at times in this game, and they weren't really playing really tight on defense until late. I think Coach said in her press conference, it looked like we were just hoping they would miss for a while. And then finally at the end of the game, we started playing defense again. And you saw that. So we don't have like a ton of like notes on this game. My biggest overarching theme is just the grit, the fight. We got down early again. We wore them down. The stats, they were 5 of 9 from 3, if I remember correctly, in the first half. Santa Clara did not make a single 3 in the second half. They were taking them. They were not making them. And that comes from having tired legs. That comes from us pressuring them better. It comes from us getting a hand in their face better. playing better defense, but it definitely comes from it just adds up. It just adds up on you when you're playing against a team like Texas Tech's defense, that by the end of the game, if you don't have a big lead, we can eke our way back into it because you're going to be tired. We're used to playing like this. We'll fight. That's what we do. We'll get back into it. So you kind of saw that again.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're talking about the theme that we have been talking about for the past few weeks now. So kind of cool to see the dust settle a little bit more of this team and who they're going to be and how they're going to play. And when they are in a tough spot like that, what is going to register with them. And I heard that press conference too of Coach Gerlich saying like, yeah, like some of our younger players having to step up and they're there, like they're ready. They've had a lot of experience with that last year, and seeing that shine through, I think, is really important, especially knowing like some of the challenges that they had at the beginning of the season. We're already starting to see improvement from everyone. So big wheels keep on turning.
Big wheels keep on turning. I love it. So we'll just play some highlights on this one, and then we'll just go through the players of the game. You're going to see that this would be quote unquote the Logan Johnson game. So keep an eye out for that in this highlight. I'm going to just show almost pretty much the whole package because there wasn't really like single players you could pull out of this game, because that is how well-rounded a game it was. It took everybody, all hands on deck. Yep. Less than 24 hours later, everybody, I think our leading scorer was Bailey Maupin with 11 points, the highest score in the game.
Yeah.
So that showed you how well-rounded the offense was from this team, and you'll see that in this clip. So let me pull it up for us.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, these were back-to-back games. So
7 internationals on the Santa Clara roster.
There you go.
Here's Ashley Chevalier, the junior, with 2 on the shot clock. Kyla
started the game. I love that development for her, that jumper. Alina looked great. Alina got her first start of the season. She started in place of Jordan Merritt, and this was her best game for sure. This 3, you can't tell because of this trash video camera angle. Look how deep this 3 is. I want you to look where the line.
Oh, and that defender's
the line is way up here, and she is 3 feet behind the line. That is deep range and no hesitation buckets. That's a fun development.
Bailey Maupin.
Jazzy.
Oh, that layup is always so clean. She just does it so often, I guess.
Let's go for the Broncos. Shavers.
We'll just let you watch these. We have
the layup, dude. Like,
the bank is open late in Vegas. Merritt was great in this game. She handled it like a pro coming off the bench.
Let's go, Lewis.
Oh yeah, Jazz Lewis had some shots. This is Chevalier we talked about last week. Disrespect her like that and give her that much space. She says, okay, I'll just step in here and take the shot. And that is a great development. It keeps happening. She does it again later in this game, too. McKinney!
Oh, we did it. I wasn't even paying attention to you.
There's Ashley making her first 3 of the season. Again, give her the space. Keep trying her. Keep giving her space. And that's such a huge development for this team because people they can't give her that space. And once they realize that, it opens up our offense to do stuff like this on this play where they can't cheat down. Now you can dump it into Kyla, I believe it is, for an easy bucket from Kyla. Physical. Get that off me. Just get off me.
Oh,
there's Ashley taking a charge late, a big charge late, because we're trying to come back in the game.
What?
We're down. It's hard to tell because this camera angle, but I promise you, that's Ashley Chevalier down there.
Okay.
Taking this charge on that girl.
I believe you.
That girl thought she was getting an and 1. The announcer thought they were getting an and 1. Nope. Big time rebound here from Saga. Gets it back out. And then Jordan Merritt says, we aren't losing this game. This is third quarter. She had a number of plays here where that's what we need from her when she has that position. Jada had great moments.
Jada just snatched that up.
This was one of her best games, if not the best game of the season for Jada.
Oh, I love that.
And 1, Jordan. I really thought there was a stretch from the end of the third quarter to the mid fourth quarter where Jordan really just kind of took over a little bit. Underhand pass from Bailey. You see it there?
Dang it, Shelby. There are so many giveable moments in this.
Oh, here, we had a replay on this. This is the Logan Johnson game
my
begins.
And one.
Logan! Freshman! Jada makes a 3. That's shooter's roll. Not luck. That's shooter's roll. That was in the back. Came back out and went back in. Oh, here comes Logan again. Says, not today. Let me have that. Let me have that and one.
Oh my
Freshman
God.
had six points in the fourth quarter from Logan Johnson. Oh, this play was just, this is the last clip. I think I put on Twitter, LOL, Bailey Maupin. I didn't have anything else to say.
I don't know
but
if
we'll
there's
stop
words
and talk
that
about
exist.
Logan, and then we'll show that play. But that's the end of the highlight package.
Wow.
Logan Johnson, 6 points
Logan.
in the fourth quarter. Great defense. She took that saga role this game. Someone else is going to take it next game. That's what you love about this team. And she was huge. It's definitely her best game of the season. She's had great moments in all of them, but this was her best winning moments of the season. She really helped us win this game in the fourth quarter where we were down again going into the fourth quarter of this game as well and had to come back and win. And she helped with that. And it was just huge. She won the Lady Raider Dominator of the game, a well-earned award for her.
I'm saying that, like, if y'all aren't familiar, which first off, get with it. But secondly, like the turnover chain that y'all have seen in like football and stuff like that, like we have one for the Dominator. And I don't it's so funny how we like football had that tire, like certain things like these items, like we had with softball, the Rock, like this is such a cool sports thing to get behind. And I think it's really doing a huge like service almost to this team and like the morale and the confidence. Like y'all go watch these videos when they get when they earn the Dominator chain, because it's like they're hype. But what's really cool is seeing the rest of the team being like, let's go. Like it. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to watch this.
You can really
see
season. Yeah, you can really see how much the team just celebrates. In the first person, this is why the culture on this team is good. The vibes are good. We're a big vibes podcast, and we pick up on that stuff. And the vibes are good on this team. And if you need no other evidence than Saga Ukkonen, who we just talked about having her best game of her career in the previous game, she got into this game for a few minutes, but Logan ultimately took that role this game. Who is the first person celebrating with Logan Johnson, sitting right behind her? You can hear her say something like, I knew it, I called it, like yelling, like she knew, like I told you this was going to happen. Like she's the first one just like shaking Logan. Like that is this team. Like they all know, hey, my moment's coming. Mine was last night. Tonight's Logan's. Maybe I'll get next night. Maybe next night is Kelly Moore. Everybody's going to have their moments to have a chance on this team. And that's the culture. That's why they're able to win these games the way they are early, even though they're still trying to figure each other out. And I agree. That chain, I don't know which assistant came up with that. I believe it's the assistant coaches that came up with it.
Yeah. I don't know who did.
That's what I think Gerlich said at the beginning of the year. It was something the assistant coaches came up with. And it makes sense. It makes sense. And it is definitely a mental thing as well. And it's a chance for everyone to celebrate, because it's not always the leading scorer. It actually seems to rarely be the leading scorer that gets it. It's the person that does the little things each game to win the game. And those are important things that we try to point those out on Twitter and on our show. Yeah. So it's even better, obviously, when their own coaches are doing it, the ones that actually matter. So I just love it.
Hey, we matter too. Just a little bit, but I know we do. But yeah, really looking forward to continuing to watch this team, which they play tomorrow. So yeah, you get to see Jordan Merritt. Like Erica's talking about.
Shout out Jordan Merritt. Jordan Merritt didn't start in this game. Seemed to handle it like a pro, and like I said, she really took over at points in that game and did what we need her. She does all the little things. I think someone in the press conference today asked Gerlich if she reminded her of Kat at all and how she played, and which is they played together in high school. So she was like, I bet Jordan would take that compliment, and she just said, she plays. She does she does everything for this team. She guards the best guard on the team at times. She'll guard the big on the team at times. and she's handling business. And then Enrique got to start instead, and Enrique, that really seemed to give Enrique a boost of confidence. So I don't know what the starting lineup will be moving forward, but it was nice to have that scoring punch off the bench, because another storyline in this game is we got 24 bench points this game, which we desperately needed because we were tired. So that's kind of the big things from that game. Go watch all the highlights if you didn't get to watch it. We tried to show you as many as we could. We can't stay on here forever, but we gave you what we could. And also Bailey was chasing a triple-double in that game, so shout out Bailey Maupin.
Wow.
He's going to get it. I said in the spring, don't be surprised if Bailey Maupin gets a triple-double jokingly. I definitely meant that jokingly, but she's capable. And here you go. She almost got it in her 7th game of the year. So shout out Bailey, doing what she does, getting better every game. All of them are. So love it.
Can't wait to congratulate you on that later.
Tomorrow.
Which is perfect timing because the Lady Raiders take on UC Irvine at home, November 29th. Be there. I would say go get a really cool beanie that they're giving to everyone, but I want to have all of them. So
don't listen to her. Get there, get your beanie. Sibby will be there 4 hours early.
I have a cold head. I got a really cold head, Shelby. But they play at 6 p.m. and before we see, or maybe a few games before we see y'all and talk to y'all again, but they have Houston Christian at home as well on December 1st. That's a Friday at 6 p.m. and then Sam Houston on Tuesday at 6 p.m. So
I guess we'll be going live after the Sam Houston game.
I guess so.
I'll be honest, I don't have a scouting report on Houston Christian. We should win that game, but I'll leave it at that. I'm sure they'll put up a fight. UC Irvine is actually a really good opponent, so and I think it's a great challenge and a great test for our guards, because they're top 20 in the nation in steals, top 20 in the nation in steal rate. They play really gritty, tough defense. They have really quick guards that like to get after you. They play different defenses. They press a little bit, which we should be used to going against in practice, doing it ourselves. But I think it's a good. I hope Bailey Maupin takes it as a challenge, because they're going to look at her turnovers per game and say, "Oh, give me that." And I don't think Bailey's going to give it to him. I think she's going to step up and prove people that she can do it. But they're definitely going to hassle our guards in this game, and we're going to have turnovers. But the goal is to not have too many, right? And so that's a good test. That's what they want to do. Also, further fun storyline in this game is their assistant coach is Derek Wynn, who is the father of Jada Wynn, our sophomore guard, who we talked about in this episode, who's really coming into her own and getting back into the flow after her injuries. So that could be a little bit fun. I want to see her hit a 3. Maybe turn to her dad, blow him a kiss on the sidelines and leave. Dad, if you're listening, can you do that so we can break the internet for you?
No, dude, that's it's just before the holidays. He wouldn't let that go. He's already gonna have to struggle through losing to them. So don't put that in there too. No, it's a really cool story of that and our opponent and making those connections. So lots of hoops.
Get out there and support the team. Tomorrow and Friday and Tuesday. There'll be 3 games before you hear from us again. So I guess
all
at home. Get on man while you can, because we're coming down to the end of non-con pretty quick, and I think they'll have one more game after that next week, and then they'll take a little bit of a break and then go to Hawaii. For a couple more.
And if you go and get one of these cups, it can hold a lot of liquid.
Okay, good to know. Get a cup that holds a lot of liquid for your next.
But look at it. You can get this at the basketball game.
You can. I've
just saying. See, Erica gets it. It's a pretty nice cup.
All right, Eric, vouch.
Thank you. Anyway, but let's move forward. Who do we have next?
Let's briefly talk about the end of the volleyball season, and then we'll get into soccer, which Erica's painfully been waiting around to help us with this. I know, but volleyball did finish their season up against the UT, who's just ridiculously good at volleyball. I think they just won their 7th Big 12 championship again, in a row. They celebrated it after beating us the other day. So they're just good. We finished out our season. There's not really much we can say or probably should say on volleyball quite yet, because I think there might be a little bit of movement in the offseason. We've already seen a few players enter the portal. I will say those players were kind of expected on our end, and I wish them nothing but the best. It's the older players on the team, and I don't blame them for wanting to go and finish their final year on maybe not a rebuilding team, which it seems like we're in a bit of a rebuilding phase. Yeah. We do have a lot of really good young players. I hope they stick around and we can build something really fun, and who knows what you can do next year when they get a little bit older. But I don't blame the players that have entered the portal, and I'll support them and wish them the best. So I think we just got to see how things shake out before we can be like, well, this is what they're going to have next year. Cause I don't think we really know, because the portal doesn't really even open until December 3rd. But these posts have already been leaking out. So there may be more. It's open for about a month till January. And then I think they can then re-enter. There's always a small window in the spring for fall sports as well, just to give them by the end of the spring semester if they want to as well. So, but the big one is coming up. So we'll see how things go. Obviously, it was a tough year. They fought through a lot of things. We appreciate all the fights that they showed. A really tough conference, and we tried to cover y'all the best we could. I think there's more we can do in the future, and we're excited to do that for them next year as we get our first season of volleyball under our belt.
I know.
We gotta know what to expect now, and we can roll with it next year. But yeah, we'll cover volleyball more in the off season. I think it'll be a busy off season in the portal for them. As far as picking up players, they're going to have to add players as well. You have a good solid freshman class coming in. We'll talk all about that as over the coming months, but. Much love to all y'all that are graduating, whatever's happening. We loved covering y'all this year.
Yeah, it was a blast. And I got to know a few of them anyway, with some of our interviews and watching them play. I didn't go to volleyball games when I went to Tech, and it's not a sport that I've actively watched. But again, like what we really emphasize with this whole channel is learning more about who they are as humans and their stories, and getting to hear from them was and get to follow along with this chapter of their story was really impactful. So I'm totally with you. Like the ones that find their next chapter anywhere different, great. And we wish you the best of luck, and really looking forward to seeing how this team can grow in next season, and knowing the talent that they have on the team, that if they are returning, great, we get to see the next evolution of that. And I'm excited for seeing Scarlett to be along for that ride. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see who shakes out to be where. And the transfer news is always exciting. And then
and every sport moving forward, there's a lot of moving parts there. So this one just seems like this is a little bit shakier than others. So I don't want to sit here and say who's going to be here and who's not. So we'll let that shake out. Hopefully the young core coming around. It sounded like, you know what, I don't even want to put that out there, but some players have put out posts on Instagram that sounds like they're coming back. You can check those out. That I don't want to assume, but they've said things of nature of see you next year. So I think there's definitely some of your favorites that have already been like, I'm here. So no worries. They're not all leaving for sure. I think the ones that have put them out there, I totally understand it, respect their decision, and get it. So I will be rooting on them all next year wherever they end up. So
we're all rooting for you. Yeah. And so that's volleyball. The season's completed, and we're gonna move to
October.
We're gonna move to another season that has been completed. And we talked about this last week about how impactful this season has been with our soccer program, y'all. This year was magical. Like, we are going through tonight our top 5 clips, and it was funny for me and Shelby to text back and forth today, because it's impossible to pick 5 highlights of this season that with how many that we had to choose from. So if you're watching and you have some memories of really important moments that you think for the soccer team, throw them in the chat. We want to hear them. But we have for y'all tonight clips from
I don't know which ones you picked. I might have ones that I would like to be in here that aren't, and that will be in the final one. We can debate it out, but you're right. This is your show. I mean, so
it's our show, and the clips. I got some of the ones that you have in here too, so you can, I think, see some of the ones that I have. But I think where I'm going to start with one of my top 5 moments of the 2023 historic soccer season, is maybe not a popular pick, mostly because it's the uniforms that apparently our whole fan base despises. Or is that just you, Shelby? The gray uniforms? But this is
no, the whole fan base should, and if you don't, you need to get on board with this. And there's a reason that soccer never wore these uniforms again.
Okay. We're still healing from that. But this is a clip of Sam Courtwright's first goal, but I do want to put a little asterisk next to that because she did score in the Denver exhibition game. So this was this
is her first official goal.
Sam Courtwright
in the stat
first year. I mean, and so I'm gonna add this to my list, and you don't get to see too much other than her cheeky footwork.
And there it is, the breakthrough goal.
We knew in that moment what we had. I mean, they've been telling us.
They lead
They've been saying you're gonna like Sam Courtwright. I think every player that we interviewed was like, get ready for Sam Courtwright. We're like, oh, okay, bet. And then Tom was like, you're all gonna like Sam Courtwright. We're like, all right, cool. And then you see the stats from the Denver game. She had an assist and a goal, and you're like, all right, Sam Courtwright. This was the first chance we got to see it in the first game. So I appreciate that moment.
Yeah, that's my first one. So I think I agreed with what you said. Like, this is the starting tone of like Sam Courtwright, and kind of to our season of like, oh, okay, like this is what we have to look forward to, is talent like this. Really fun soccer to watch. So that's my first one. Yeah, for one of my top 5. I don't know.
I am bringing one in that was not in here because you're talking about Sam. So we can argue about this. We can probably only have one Sam goal in the top 5. So maybe this is our first debate point. And if you're in here, Erica, you might be the tiebreaker. Whoever else is watching.
Good luck.
Maybe we'll have to put this out on a poll.
Good luck.
And let people decide. But this is my Sam Courtwright moment, and it's not the juggling moment. I could have done that. I would have been hyped about that. But this is my Sam Courtwright goal moment of the year.
Okay.
Is certainly been impressive. Is that ball into the box here?
Okay.
From distance.
Okay.
Oh, goodness, what a goal!
Okay.
It's a freshman who ties the game up for Texas.
Okay, Shelby.
The moment,
the
the
volley,
skill, the pro.
A spectacular goal at that.
She was facing like a 180, like from the goal.
What a volley!
Serve in, just a little bit of a second.
One of the goalkeepers, the best keepers in college.
Finish from her. Caroline
Even the
announcer, yes, that one bounce, that one touch.
Stunned by this goal from Sam Courtwright.
Professional level.
In a moment that we needed it to set the
That's a good
stage.
point.
If you weren't watching, this is the first game after we lost Macy to injury. We're on the road. We get down early in this game.
Nerves,
late.
Yeah.
We were down first. This is one of the few games all year where we allowed a goal first, and it's 20 minutes left in this game. At this point, it's raining. Their uniforms are soaked. They're not this red usually, and they're dark red at this point. Look at those things. It was just rough conditions, and they've been traveling a lot. This is after they'd gone to Provo back home to play TCU over to the other side of the country, all after losing one of your teammates and leaders on the team. Oh, okay. A few days later, go play one of the best teams in the conference. Get down a goal and let your freshman make a worldie to tie it and win the Big. That ultimately won the Big 12. If we lose that game, we do not win the Big 12.
Okay, listen, you're pulling math into this debate, and I don't feel like that's fair. But this is a brilliant.
We can go back to yours, and I'm here to hear your argument because I think there's an argument to be made for you, but I don't want to make it for you.
I'll get it.
I'm trying to win my own argument.
Do you remember when
if you want me to switch sides of the debate team, I'll go argue that one for you.
I don't need that. No, this is a great goal. I'll give you that. But you know what, Shelby? I just don't know if it would have if it would have happened or had this much impact if it weren't for her first one. So it had to start somewhere. And if you don't have the start, you don't have the middle. And that's the middle. Yeah. So
I hear you. That's tough. I don't know.
And this displays everything that you kind of. I mean, she had that one touch off her chest, but this one she had a quick footwork, quick sidestep, and she was able to bury it. And I'm sorry, was that off her left foot?
Yeah, the other one was too, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Dang it.
The other one's off her left foot off of a volley, but it's fine.
Is she left-footed? Dude.
No, she's not. Coach Quinn confirmed that to us because we said that once on Twitter. Like, I wonder if she's left-footed. And he was like, actually, she's not, but she can obviously finish with both. I think this one is too. Left-footed, right? It has to be from the angle she kicked it. Yeah, left.
Oh my gosh.
I think all of her bazooka goals have been off of her left foot, so I'm questioning if she is not. We were told she's not because the one at BYU, which you could put in here too. Sam Courtright has a number of moments. I could probably pull up the one from BYU if we want to throw another wrench into the equation. Maybe we needed to do a whole flipping Twitter poll just to be like, guys, we need one Sam moment to be in the top 5. Please
I
pick.
don't know.
We could not decide. It's this one and they were all in draws. They were all. She was like, "You need a goal? Bet I'll do it for you guys."
Did you see? Oh, dude, I didn't notice it in that clip, but Madison had her hands up, like, of course she's celebrating.
Yeah,
but
I've noticed.
I love seeing her just
watch
a silhouette almost.
I think you can see it. You can see her go from being
happy to like business
business
or what?
I don't know if you can see it in this video. See her? She's like hand on the hip.
Oh yeah.
And now she's celebrating because she's like, "Oh, what's happening?"
Is it in the same clip?
Yeah, it's in the same clip.
Huh?
Yeah, I noticed that. Mental moments. I don't know what she was thinking in that moment, but hand on hip, posture wise, body language wise, I don't blame her. We just talked about all the things going on in that game.
Trouble. Yeah.
What happened in the game prior? All the things that be going through your head, like, oh, here it goes.
Wow.
And then Sam went and got that, and they got a point out of that road trip, and it did help them win the Big 12. So
wow. That's a good one. And you talk about like finding the best clip, but I don't think I want to throw that into the universe because then we'll have like the apocalypse happen. So I'm gonna do us a service by not throwing the world into chaos. And
I don't know what you're talking about, but
we both win. Like it's impossible to pick.
We can't put them both in there, but we could do a trio. Sam Courtright. To draw goals or something.
Well, that's going to be every clip that I feel like I have because I don't even want to argue with you why mine's better because I'm never going to be able to feel good about that. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway,
I got one more for that nature because I just like to throw wrenches into everybody.
Dunk on me.
The goal at BYU after we were down 1.
Oh, look at Elise. Elise Anderson. I just
off the left foot again, lying to us.
Oh my god. Oh,
Erica's no help in this debate.
No, Erica is on my team, but like she's on every.
Sorry,
we are all one in this.
So we'll try to whittle this down, but I don't really know now. I'm making it harder on myself.
This is an Elise Anderson clip, in my opinion. Like, yeah.
Maybe
you have a great.
Oh God, you're not wrong. Trouble. Like we got to put something from the BYU
we're
game.
In trouble.
Something from the BYU game has to be in the top 5.
We will be here forever. I'm just saying, like I'm happy to talk about this forever. And let's be mindful of tonight's show, I guess, because I have another clip that provides historical context. Is the start of something very special, and that's all the introduction I'm going to give. So good luck.
For the last 10 minutes, the high school All-American from Keller, Texas. The line drive through the 6 and headed in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Of the match comes in the
Could you not see that? No, because this video was really tough to watch. But this is our match against ASU Arizona
the whip
State.
Around to the.
Yeah, y'all. I'm just so grateful that we got to see this.
Away. Erica, look away.
Erica was in on. I think she was tweeting about it too. She was like, "I can't." But what you see from this clip, Shelby, is one of the beginning of the Macy Blackburn, Hannah Anderson connection. This is Macy Blackburn taking the corner. Mm-hmm. Who else is she going to make that connection to? It's Hannah Anderson who heads the ball in, and this is the start of where we see it the rest of the season until like Macy went out. But this was such a powerful connection, y'all, that like people knew that they had to mark up Hannah. They knew that Macy Blackburn is going to serve the perfect ball. They knew that, and nobody could stop it. Nobody could. Like, and this was the start of it. So that's my second, like, one of my all-time moments of the season.
I don't have the clip, but we could do like a this top 5 is gonna end up being like top 15. But
I know, dude. You keep going off
But
script.
I mean, but what's not off script? I sent you my moments, but the OU Macy to Hannah one is kind of in the same vein. So you could do like Macy to Hannah moments, but one of those Macy to Hannah moments gotta be on its own. And someone on Twitter replied, I put out that sent out an updated post like, come help us. We're doing this debate right now. And they said Anderson goal versus Texas and the White Save versus Princeton are the top 2. After that, you're on your own. So really not helpful at all. But
like fair. We get it.
Macy, you're right. I agree with this one being in there. Maybe I don't know. We'll get creative. There's so many good moments that we can fit in there, but this one definitely mattered. It was the start of that. And Macy unfortunately couldn't finish the year with us, but her mindset in this game, her mindset in the game before this, relentless. She started that mindset, and Elise came in and carried it in the rest of the way. But I agree. You saw it's so beautiful. It's sad that we won't ever get to see that again on Texas Tech's roster. Maybe they meet up in the pros someday together.
On the national team.
On the national team. Okay,
I said it first.
I'm here.
I said it first.
World Cup. Let's do it.
Go.
Who knows? Never say never.
What?
I mean, I said never say never. They've proven them wrong at every step of the way. Why not keep doing it?
That says never. But Shelby, I know like you're bashing that I didn't bring up clips, but the next clip that you can play.
I'm not bashing.
I uploaded for you. If you want to talk about the one that is in our studio, are you able to see it or no? Am I pulling it up for us?
You have to click. I don't know what one you're talking about.
This one's yours. Okay, this is for everybody. You'll know. You know.
Trouble off the cross bar.
I think this game in general, it was my moment, top 5, but that is part of it, because the seniors on this team, there's a lot of 5th-year seniors on this team. Shout out Hannah, Madison, Penny, Elise, 4th-year senior, whatever. All the seniors on the team, Giselle, Olivia.
Giselle.
All of them had never beaten TCU.
Yeah.
That's crazy, because these are really, really good soccer players. We've gotten some draws against them over the years. They had never gotten a win until this game in such a big year, in a big moment, because we had just come off of a big time draw up in Provo. Huge moment for them to go up there and do that. BYU, mind you, is in the Final Four right now. They could win the whole flipping thing. And we went up there and could have won that game. And we got a draw out of it, which was huge. 2 days later, you got to play TCU, who at the time was tied with you. You were both undefeated in the Big 12. They're top 25 team. And whoever won this game was going to move into sole possession of the Big 12. So this whole game was huge. We got that goal earlier. Alex Kerr got a beautiful goal in this game.
Alex Herr.
Shout out her.
Alex Herr.
She had that goal, so we were in the lead. But the last 10 minutes of this game were insanity, and this save from Madison saved the Big 12 championship for us.
Oh yeah,
this is trouble off the cross.
The commentator cracks me up.
Oh, Jeff is hype.
It's so good, and it's like when he's talking about she's in trouble, like this shows like how close this ball was, and
nobody. Well, I don't know nobody, but not many people get that.
Shelby, tell us what this was the start
of.
And
then this
what did this inspire?
The Air Madison shirt. We made a video, called her Air Madison, suggested that the program, this was before we announced that we were moving to Adidas, but that we should change to Air Madison for soccer. Made a video, you can go find it. Her family made shirts with that logo that we kind of put, they cleaned it up and made it look a lot better. They said Air Madison. I should have worn it. But,
I know.
We posted pictures of it. It's like a cool Air Madison shirt. Hey, you're about graduated now, Madison. If you're listening to this, put those out for sale.
For real.
Let the people buy them. There's so many people.
Mom,
I had 3 or 4 people ask me just walking around. This is Madison. If you don't believe is how popular we are in the town of Lubbock. That week I wore it one day just out and about, and people are like, "Where'd you get that shirt? I want that shirt." And I was like,
"You were like,
bet you know who Madison White is." First of all, shout out you, love you for that. And I was like, I got it. It was given to me. I didn't buy it. So, but anyway, maybe someday that'll be in the first of her merch line when she becomes a pro.
This is going directly to. Well, I probably shouldn't say that. I was gonna say something about with Madison's mom, because she was the one that introduced us to those shirts, and
Yeah.
you know, a
Well,
huge shout out to
they
that
know
whole
that's
family.
who made them. That's out there on Twitter.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Anyway,
But yeah, this has to be
huge moment.
TCU. The TCU game, in my
beating
opinion,
TCU and
has to be a top 5 moment. We can include all these clips, but that was just part of it.
Yeah, and that's what I put that in there for, because you had said like the TCU win, and y'all, we talked to Kylie Barr, Madison White, Hannah Anderson all before the season started, and we asked them like, who do you want to be, who are you looking forward to playing against the most, and all of them said TCU. And
my guy on Twitter, sorry, continue your story.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but like that's so huge. And again, we talked about this. They set these goals. They didn't just complete them. They smashed them. And it's like moments like this and this whole win for them against TCU at home. It was just poetic. This whole season, y'all, why it's so hard to put it into even we've already run past 5 highlights, by the way. Not surprising, but that shows how impactful this season has been, how historic it's been. There's a reason why we are struggling so much, and I don't know if I'll ever get over it, but this was a magical season full of moments like this, and I would recommend to anybody, go watch every single game again. When you're bored over the summer, watch their entire season again.
I might. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm going to.
No, I was about to. I was hoping there'd be like a video put out. Keep waiting for that to happen so that we could just watch it. Maybe we'll just have to make it for them, but time. I would just like to know that there's been a vote for the UCF goal from on Twitter. They even posted the video themselves and called it the curler from Sam. I'm about to just tag Sam and be like, can you please just tell us what your favorite goal of the season was?
I was about to say, that's what I want to know. Like, I don't want to find
right now in the reply.
Right.
Sam, just please
Sam's
end our
got
misery.
us. Sam's got us. I can feel it. So yeah, the TCU win is a good one. I mean, like, the next clips I put in here for you, so I'll let you run through this one. On it, but this was
that was just.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you not? It wasn't the most exciting game, but the moment is pretty cool.
Yeah. So this is the game that determines regular season Big 12 champions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the emphasis on this game, and to see Ashley Williams score this goal, like, this is, I think, just showing really us winning the regular Big 12 season, which I was thinking about that when I was looking at all these different highlights, is we're going to have to update our fencing at the John Walker to say 2023 Big 12 champs, along with our 2015 artwork.
Tear that
whatever.
sucker down before I take some scissors out. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna.
Shelby's out there. Shelby's out there with a mask on. She has like scissors trying to cut this industrial, like, whatever the hell it's made out of. And you.
But also, when you do take that down, if you're just gonna throw it away, I'll take it. I'll put that somewhere.
Oh, and then she's asking for shit. She's like, "I'm gonna vandalize. I'm not gonna steal it, but then can you give it to me, girl?" We got to work on that. We'll talk. That's seeing Scarlet After Dark. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Anyway, a huge moment for the Big 12 champs. And that's what you had on your list.
Like gotta put top 5. We might have to debate this off air once we start breaking it down to make this video as our top 5 moments. But I feel like you gotta put mostly the celebration. I thought was cool just to see them celebrate it, because we talked all season how good they were at what's next. It was nice to see them. I don't know why I'm causing chaos. Me never,
because you're
maybe
taking
she's talking
scissors.
About
yeah, there's a delay. Come on,
right. I am
lady.
On Twitter right now. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, this one I feel like we have to find a way to fit it in there, because it's the first time in school history to win the regular season title, go undefeated in Big 12 play, undefeated in the regular season. All the things overcome what you did late in the season, still got it done, and to see them celebrate it, throw the tortillas. Maybe just the throwing of the tortillas moment is the top 5 moment. Like the fact that the parents smuggled those tortillas in. I'm sure they didn't have to. I'm sure no one was checking anything at Iowa State, but they got those tortillas in. They brought confetti for the players. The parents really went all out for their for their daughters and let them celebrate it big. So I love that. I love that for
Yeah.
them. It was just cool to watch. It was kind of and that was a crazy day for me as well. So maybe it was a long day for myself as well. So it was fun to cap it off with that.
Correct. Yeah. Shelby was in a car accident and then continued to.
I could have. It was not. It was a bad. I was alive by the end of the day.
And that was very nice to know. There's more to say about that, but I want to unpack it at a different time. Anyway, glad you're here. So
Same.
the next video that we have, and I have like some bonus videos in here, but it's going to be really tough to beat this one. And I think y'all know where we're going to go with this. And if Matt was in the chat, he's going to know what we're talking about here. And that is when Texas Tech went to the University of Texas and they beat the University of Texas. And Shelby, I was thinking about this, dude. This was like our early in our season game. Like this was very early in our season. And it came down to the last 4 seconds of the match. And I'm going to shut up now.
So here is
Macy Blackburn. Who is she going to connect it to, class?
The sophomore out of
This is a
Keller.
quiz.
Hogate in position.
Fill in the blank.
Blackburn in front.
I get chills.
That one headed into the net. Oh my goodness! Tech
Oh
has won
my
it.
god, dude!
Unreal.
Oh man, I still remember just blackout tweeting in
Hold
that
up.
moment.
Hold up.
And Hogate
We gotta.
is in shock.
I'm in shock.
Stunning.
Like this is a once in a century kind of game. And what I love the most about this clip, which is so hard, is, and you'll see it here again, is, and Shelby, you talked about this too, we share this, is the dog pile. And I think it's so cool to see Hannah's like, I'm out, I'm running out. Like you can see her, the excitement is just too much to contain after she sees this ball slowly. That was the slowest dribble into the back of the net I've ever
And it has to cross the line
experienced.
before 0.
It really like ripped my heart out. But you see her running, and then the entire team, y'all, like there are game changers in their like transfer jerseys that are on the pitch, and the dog pile is it. That is such a beautiful like that picture of them in that dog pile is honestly the symbol of their whole season of having that celebration and earning that really cool win against UT, one of the last times that we're going to play them in the Big 12 conference. Like this is what you can hope for as an ending, and to see Macy Blackburn where we can celebrate her is this was my
wizard
second clip. Like this connection is so special, and
there was others too.
This was not a fluke. Yeah, like this wasn't just by chance. And look at Greg Courtwright, y'all. Sam Courtwright's
that was our introduction to Greg Courtwright. We were like, who is that guy? And then we found out it was Greg, and we've since met Greg, and he's a great guy. So he knew the whole time. And loved it.
I love that too, because like what Jess was talking about, I would love to know the parents' top 5, because they went to our parents rolled deep everywhere.
If the parents would come in here and be like, no, it's this and this and this, I will go make that video tomorrow.
I know. I honestly
argument over. Tell me what it should be.
It's kind of like I don't want to get in trouble by my parents, but I'm also like I would love to know what you have to say. So
please come tell us if you're listening to this. Come tell us what you think it should be.
Stephanie,
because like
Greg,
my question is, Stephanie, where you at? Is like, is this the number one moment? Like it's hard to put that over winning the Big 12 and the PK win, but like emotion wise, it's almost like PK, which we'll show in a minute. And then this is 2, and then the Big 12. You know what I mean?
How
do you put the Big 12 at 3?
How do you
moment wise? Like I don't know. That's going to be a problem. That's
like
a debate for another day, I guess. We'll have to stress over that.
Chocolate water. Like it's just 3 greats.
It's great. Yeah,
peanut butter jelly bread.
This moment also really, I think, was like the moment this team was like, yeah, we're good. You know what I mean? Like, we're good.
They all were saying.
I think they knew about 5 minutes into that game.
Us.
Yeah, we're good, because we scored really early into that game, and they're like,
yes,
oh no, we belong. This is one of the best teams in the country. We belong.
That's a
And
good
I
point
think that's
too.
the first time they noticed that, and you saw that, and we don't have to talk about the sad part of it at the end of it, but there's that stretch between this game and TCU where, by
Grind.
God, tell me we could not beat anyone in the country during that stretch. We were scoring 2-3 goals a game. We were shutting everybody
Put
out.
us up against anybody.
Just that was our best soccer of the season, and we played some great soccer after that as well. But that stretch was fun. That stretch was fun, and this started it right here. And that was when we were like, okay, they are who we kind of were starting to think they were. We knew it then. We tried to tell y'all. Then that was when we were like, get on board. You're missing this, y'all. You're missing this. We tried to drag everybody we could onto the train. And a lot of people missed this moment because it was on Longhorn Network. Plus, they just weren't watching as dedicatedly as us Loyals were yet. But if you did, go find replays because it was hype. Or just go watch, read our tweets. They're in the highlight tab on Twitter. A lot of them are from that game. You can just go back and read our blackout tweets from that game, or go back and watch Sibby's blackout story post from that game. It's all good stuff.
I still live in that moment. You know, I've
forever.
My soul has never recovered. And like another cherry on top is this was a top 25 matchup. So
it's also the SportsCenter top player of the night.
Oh, it's got to be the top play of the season. But you are talking about all these other components, and I'm trying to remember which clip this one was. So hang tight, y'all. Let's see what. Oh, okay, yeah. So this is
the clip.
This is the. Go, yo! You can't give it that title if we don't know yet what the top clip is. But this, I mean, hey, Shelby, tee us up for this clip because this was also
Prince. What?
This was when you got into town, and
I've already been into town, right? This is Princeton,
yeah, you,
so
like,
I've been there
for a million
I lived
years,
there for a week.
For some reason, you left. But anyway, but this is a clip of pretty much the whole game because I couldn't find small clips. So I think it does a great job of showing like the highlights of the game.
I'll relive it. I'm here for it.
I mean, let's
Kylie
go.
Barr, clutch in this game as always.
Oh, you get to see so many clips from her in this.
Oh, that speech.
Yep. Let me run it back. Yeah, I'm gonna run it back. It's
so good. This is what we do every time. Together we protect this house.
I know that we can do this, okay? We do it together like we do every time. We protect our house.
I know about my heart.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Like put
Giselle,
that needs to be a part of the highlight reel for the rest of time.
Madison White. Is that Peyton Parsons who came up clutch?
There's the
Molly. Giselle.
Giselle's great. Little Elise moment.
Oh, that was Molly getting that clear.
Oh,
Kylie Barr. Oh God.
I'm gonna turn that into a gift. What was nasty, Kylie?
Jill. So these are kicks. Okay.
Easy money.
So for those who don't know, we went into kicks from the mark, which means we went through a regular game. We tied at the end of regulation time. We went into 2 overtime periods, still tied up. We had to go to kicks from the mark. And Shelby, I've told you this. My toxic trait is if Madison White has anything to do with it.
I was unconcerned.
We're all right. If this was any other team, I'd be like, oh my gosh, this
I
is the
legitimately should have been way more nervous than
Correct.
I was. I was just like, I was sitting next
That's
to
our toxic trait.
I won't say names, but I was randomly sitting next to a player's parent, and I was like, you know what? We're okay because Madison did this in 2019, and I was like telling her all this. She's like, good to know. Like she didn't know that. I was like, she did this in 2019 in her first ever NCAA game.
Here, listen to our episode.
We won in PKs against Pepperdine. She's like, good to know. I was like, I feel good. All right, and then it just goes. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Like this game, I mean, Princeton had a lot of really good chances. We talked about that in our recap episode. It just shows how good our defense was. The amount of stops that we made in this game to get it to here.
You're totally right. So this is gonna quickly
Does this
run
show
through.
Sam's? I guess it didn't.
No,
I don't think I saw this video. I was too lost in the sauce the next days. I don't know what's going on. I was not drunk, guys. Lost in the sauce of the excitement.
Correct. I was like the adrenaline sauce.
Yeah.
But yeah, this will show some of the kicks too. It happens quick, but yeah, you'll see here. Madison White, the Kylie Barr step over, Sam court rights. Okay.
Oh, they still don't show the celebration.
I know.
Sorry, Sam. I was going to gift it for you.
Goal!
That's Jill. Huge. Alex Kerr. Huge.
Sails it by McCamey. Here we go.
And it's not even a great view. It's not even a great view of what Madison White did here to save this goal. Like she dove the right way. She dove so quick that the last thing that was in between her and the ball was, like, she dove the right way.
She's like falling, and then she just like sticks her leg out. She was
so fast that like her foot was
she read it so well. She was ahead of the kick, and she had to stick her leg out. It was so athletic.
That what you knew. So again, yeah, like this. I'm sorry, not a great view of it, but you'll see that, and then you'll see Peyton Parsons with the huge kick to win the game. Up there 90. Are you kidding me, girl?
Yeah, knowing that everyone was yelling at the keeper to go that way, and she's like, I'm gonna do it anyway because I'm her, and she did. So that's cool. She'll be a junior next year. She'll go from being a underclassman to a vet on this team. That's a big thing to carry with you into the next season. Yes.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yes. This right here. Madison White versus everybody.
Oh my gosh, dude. That's it. That's in the running for one of the top clips, I guess, is what you're saying here. And then I think
that's got to be in there. Sweet 16.
Oh, this was okay. This was the Big 12. Also, yeah. 12, anyway, so. But yeah,
choices, but anyway, that one's got to be in there. The dog pile has to be in there. Do you agree that the Big 12 champ celebration has to be in there? Or are you iffy on that one?
You know what? I think if I had to pick one, I'm gonna pick the UT dog pile.
No, we get to pick 5.
Oh, I see what you mean. Sorry. I'm like, number 1, leave no prisoners.
I'm saying which 5 if we can. I think we're going to have to figure out the same.
Sorry. Yes.
But
okay.
You have to
Big
put
12,
those 3 in there, right?
I'm with you on the Big 12. Yeah.
Have to put the dog pile in there. Have to put the Princeton PK to send you to Sweet 16. Then there's 2 spots. I think you have to probably put we agree on the TCU game.
The TCU game is a must. I mean,
and then there's 1 spot for those remaining. You got Macy to Hannah in the Arizona game. You have we just got to pick a Sam goal, or we got to pick a Sam goal. We could just do Sam moments. I don't know, but we could pick a goal.
Yeah, that's a tough one. If people in the chat had any opinions already,
the only opinion we got on Twitter was the UCF.
The UCF. All right, I will for our Seeing Scarlet team. I will agree with you on that one.
We can do it. I'll do an honorable mention at the end and do Macy. Every single one of Macy's corner kick ever. Yeah. Like we didn't even show all of hers. The OU Macy's PK and it just honorable mention for Macy in general. Just
totally
all of her clips. For sure. But yeah, that is such a spicy goal there from Sam as well. God. Just Sam Courtright game tying goals. We can do that. Maybe we'll compromise and just do Sam Courtright's game tying clutch gene.
All right, fine.
This one BYU, and because they were all to come back from down 1 goal.
That's fair.
She scored 3 different times this year, down 1-0 in games to give us a 1-1 tie at the time. BYU later went on to be 2-2, but we can compromise and do that because I don't know how you leave out the BYU goal or this Arizona
how you leave
goal,
out anything.
they're all or the New Mexico goal because that game is
Shelby, dude. Well,
we'll figure it out. But good.
We're gonna figure it out,
guys. Good. I think we weaseled out a few. We did good there.
Did we? I don't know.
And then people can roast us on Twitter when we post the clip and are like, "How did you forget this one?" Like it'll happen.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
If it's apparent, I will immediately edit the video and repost it. Anybody else? You should have been here for the live.
Yeah. Well.
Penalty kicks versus Princeton. Yes, we agree. That's got to be up there.
That's a good one.
It's got to be number 1 or maybe I'm not going to order them. I'm just going to say top 5 moments and put them in a video and everyone else can decide. How do you pick?
Good luck. Good luck.
Good work, guys. All right. So that's done. We survived. We didn't spend an hour on that. Close, but not an hour. Look at us. Thank you all for joining that lovely debate about the soccer
Debate.
highlights. And
I'm the worst. I'm the worst at that then because I'm like, you're right.
Gave up. I don't know.
Honestly,
I gave in. We're gonna do all of Sam's goals together because you're right. The New Mexico goal is big, and we'll honorable mention it on all of Macy's corners and everything else. So yeah, thank you all for joining with that. We'll put out a video at some point when we get a chance to do like a top 5 moment video for soccer. That's the point of this. What debate? Erica, did you miss the entire debate?
Shelby, there would have to be a debate for them to miss. And the whole time I'm like, everybody wins. I actually hate this. I'm like, this is the worst thing ever.
We tried.
I think we got a good list. We
did good. There's a lot of great moments. If you joined the party late in the year, go, like Sibby said earlier, you can watch most of these games on ESPN Plus still. Watch them before they leave. You can watch the Arizona and Arizona State ones on the Pac-12 network if you want to. I would suggest some Dramamine, but they are solid games to watch. The video is the Arizona State game's a little bit better because the announcer is great. That takes away from the video being bad.
Oh, you're totally right.
The announcer in the Arizona State game was possibly the best away announcer the BYU guy was really good too. They were up there together.
Yeah, there's somebody that was like
color commentator on the BYU game was annoying, but the play guy was good.
We talked about them at length on one of our episodes. They were really good. Yeah.
Anything else before we close out this? What do we have coming up this week? We got a lot of a lot of basketball going on. I wish we had soccer. Well, we do have the Final Four.
The women's national team. Yeah. And
you can watch that. That's over. I might skip over there and see if BYU can get it done for the Big 12. It's right down the street from me. So we'll go watch it. But basketball in person tomorrow night in the USA, 6 p.m. Be there. Friday, I believe it's at 6 p.m. Be there. Next Tuesday, I assume it's at 6 p.m. Be there. Men's basketball, I believe, is on the road on Thursday at Butler, which is a big game in the
Be there
Big East Challenge or whatever the heck it's called. Be there if you want to go to Indianapolis. Have at it.
You were just saying it. I was just rolling with you. Be there. Be there.
Be there. So that's what I got. Football obviously finished out their regular season the other night. No one needs to relive that, so we won't speak of it. But it's done now. They'll have their bowl game being announced in the next week, and we'll figure out what that is. And now we're turning a new leaf. Everything's already changing. The transfer portal is portaling. We've all moved on to happier times and to get ready for next year. So let's do that for them. But it's basketball season, y'all. So I'm hyped. Let's go.
Hoop, there it is. Hoop, there. Yes.
Right,
it's okay. Sorry. Anyway, Wreck 'em.